carried rocks across the yard, sweating in the hot sun. From a nearby fence, a cat meowed.
Hey, get down here and help me.
Despite Tim's whining, Moby remained in his tree, continuing his important work.
Dear Tim and Moby, what is point of view? I mean, when it comes to writing. From Josh. Well, point of view is the position from which a narrator sees and understands what is happening. There are 5 main points of view that you come across in writing. First-person point of view is when the narrator, usually the main character, is telling the story from his or her own perspective. What you got there? Wow, I remember this. I was sitting in class minding my own business when Dana reached out and pulled my hair for no reason. Yeah, that's first person, all right. You can really feel how upset I was. The first-person narrator is a character in the story. The word I is a definite indication that you're dealing with a first-person narrator. The narrator, who actually is me in this case, is directly involved in what's going on. That involvement means that a first-person narrator is not totally reliable. Everything that you know about the story is through his or her eyes, so if the narrator doesn't know something, then the reader can't know either. She did pull my hair, though. I swear. Second-person point of view is not as common, at least in writing. The second-person narrator tells a story using the word you, which places the reader immediately and personally into the story. Your alarm clock shatters the early Monday silence. You hit the snooze button and pull the covers up over your head, hoping for just a few more minutes of sleep. Suddenly it hits you. Your science project is due today. No, that's just part of the story. Let's move on to the third-person point of view. It's a lot less confusing. There are 3 types of third-person point of view. The first one is the simplest, third-person objective. In the third-person objective point of view, the narrator isn't part of the story. He can tell the reader what happens to the characters, but he can't go inside their heads and reveal what they're thinking or feeling. The orange robot sat in the tree, watching the boy struggle with the heavy stones. In the third-person limited point of view, the narrator focuses his or her attention through one character, so the reader not only sees what's going on with the characters, but also knows what one particular character is thinking. The orange robot sat in the tree, watching the boy struggle with the heavy stones. The robot wondered if the boy saw him. With third-person limited narration, the narrator only knows as much as the character that he focuses his attention through. It's very similar to first-person, actually. The voice is a little more detached, but the experience is similar. The third-person omniscient narrator is really detached. Omniscient means all-knowing. So, unlike the third-person limited narrator, the omniscient narrator has access to the thoughts and feelings of every character in the story. No, sitting above me in the tree and writing does not make you a third-person omniscient narrator. You're actually there, physically watching me, and you can't tell what I'm thinking. It's almost like the third-person omniscient narrator is watching the scene from another world, like how we'd watch ants. Of course, we don't know what ants are thinking, but an omniscient narrator would be able to say exactly what we're thinking and feeling at all times.
Tim and his robot friend Moby stood on their lawn, explaining the concept of point of view. While Tim was eager to get his point across, Moby couldn't help thinking about running away and digging holes in the yard.
The omniscient narrator is trustworthy and reliable. They see everything and tell it like it is. Well, choosing a point of view to tell your story is important. First person is appropriate when you want the reader to really identify with the narrator. Second person draws the reader in, but in a different way. It's like talking directly to someone. Third person limited lets your readers watch your main character carefully and draw their own conclusions about him or her. And third person omniscient can give your reader an objective overview of your story. Whatever you choose, you want to stick to one point of view. Generally speaking, switching points of view can be confusing. Now, how about you help me move these rocks? The omniscient narrator told you not to help me? Oh boy.